Did you?
No, I did, but I've thought of something. I haven't got it yet. But see this man here? He has got the present for you. This is Robert Beasley. Robert's brought a new book out, and it's called Jose Mourinho Up Close and Personal. And I thought it just...
Thank you, that's just right up my street. Thanks.
She'll love
I'll even
that.
get it signed and everything. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Robert wrote this book. Is this authorised or not?
Unauthorised.
Unauthorised, which makes
unofficial.
it juicier.
Well, you can do it either way. You can do it with the person and themselves, and they get to determine what goes in and what stays out, or you can do it yourself through your own eyes, what you've seen up close and personal with a person, and it's, in my view, a truer, more fairer and accurate account.
And you know him, and you've known him for a long while.
I was there the moment he declared himself a special one on his first day at Chelsea, and I spent a 12-year odyssey with him, travelling all around the world, watching him win trophy after trophy after trophy after trophy, and a few scrapes and incidents along the way.
Yes, to say the least. Now, as a Chelsea supporter, which is what you are, does it really break your heart to see him wearing red these days?
Well, I'm sure you're very pleased, but yes, it's going to be interesting in October when he comes back to Stamford Bridge, because he's got a nasty record of coming back to Chelsea and beating Chelsea on his old stamping ground. So, yeah, I was sad to see him go.
But could I ask you, say he's got a nasty record of coming back to Celtic, right? Here's my theory. He went back to Chelsea, He went back to Chelsea because the job he really wanted wasn't open to him, and he's now got the job he really wanted. Am I deluded or not?
No, you're very, very close to the truth, because what happened was, I went to see him in January, and it was celebrate his 50th birthday, and it was at that point that he told me he was looking to get out of Real Madrid and wanted to go back to Chelsea. So in the February, when I got permission, I did the story. And then subsequently, Manchester City became involved, Paris Saint-Germain got involved, and Chelsea were involved, and then out of the blue, about April time, Manchester United arrived. He thought he had got the Manchester United job to succeed Fergie. He was convinced he'd got it, and then suddenly at the last minute he was taken away. He couldn't believe it. He said, "One day I'll tell you the full story, you won't believe it." And he was absolutely shocked and stunned. And I knew at that point that this was a job that he really, really wanted. He went back to Chelsea, he loves Chelsea, and I've got no doubts about that.
Do you want to hazard a guess at why he didn't get it first time round, why it went to David Moyes instead?
I don't know, he's never told me, but...
you could guess?
I think maybe there were certain people at Manchester United who thought he brought with him a bit too much baggage.
Right. Where is he with carrying his baggage these days? I'll tell you what, even though we won on Saturday and won convincingly over Leicester, he just didn't look happy. What's he so worried about?
He's one of his favourite words is intensity. He's very intense about his job. He's a workaholic. He leaves no stone unturned. Attention to detail is legendary, and he's a hard taskmaster. So if he sees anything going wrong, he won't be very, very pleased. He's got a big task on his hands. Pep Guardiola and Manchester City look irresistible. You can't look beyond them at the moment for the Premier League title. But I've said in the book that I'm backing him to win the title with United within 2 years. And if you remember, when he went to Spain, he went to Real Madrid and all the Galacticos, he was going up against Pep Guardiola and that Barcelona side that many people regarded as the greatest side of all time, not just the greatest time of an era, but even better than the 1970 World Cup team. So he took that on. First season, okay, but nowhere near. Second season, record-breaking. Record number of points, record number of goals, and that's what he'll do at United.
One of the things he's got to take on, which is going to be very, very controversial, is Wayne Rooney, how Wayne Rooney plays, when he plays, whatever. Do you think he's grasped that nettle yet? Because Pep Guardiola's made the tough decisions at City.
Yes, he is, but Jose doesn't judge players by the age on their passports. He judges them on the quality and what they can do for the team. If you remember his Inter Milan team, I think his captain was 37 years old, Zanetti, and I think he had something like 3 or 4, 32, 33, 34 years old players in the team. So he doesn't care if you're 16 or you're 36. If you're good enough and you're doing a service for the team, you'll be in the team. The problem with Rooney is, we've been talking about this for years, what's his best position and where can he be most effective for Manchester United? And that's the conundrum that Jose is looking to solve.
Would he hesitate in grasping that nettle?
No, no.
Jackie?
He calls him Fat Boy in the book, though, doesn't he?
As a joke, Jackie. As a joke, Jackie. It was an anecdote, and I put the anecdote into the book because we were in a restaurant in Washington DC. I was with my 12-year-old boy, who's a massive Chelsea fan, massive Mourinho fan, and we were with friends. We were having dinner in a public restaurant in the foyer of the hotel, and Jose came creeping up behind my son, put his fingers to his lips, and shh, and tapped my son on the shoulder and said, "Budge up, buddy." and squeezed into the chair with him and said it was in 2013, he was just back at Chelsea, he'd spent the whole summer trying to sign Wayne Rooney from Manchester United, and he turned to my son and said, banter, joke, what do you think of us trying to sign the fat boy then? And we all laughed. All the adults around the table laughed. And my boy, 12 years old, doesn't understand banter. He's going, what? What's he talking about? So I have to lean across and say, the fat boy's Rooney, Josh. And then Josh just burst into laughter and said, yes, please, boss. Yes, please, boss. Please sign him. He's brilliant. He'll be fantastic for Chelsea.
Isabel, from the outside, as a casual observer of these sort of things, what do you make of Mourinho? For instance, do you find him, as a lot of women say, not so sure about the football, and I fancy him? He's fancy. Is he fancy?
I have to say, as you know, I'm not a huge football fan. However, sort of football managers that kind of come out of the world of football and stand out, he is one of them. I kind of notice him because he's kind of different from the mould.
He's got a bit of charisma, he's a bit different.
He's got presence. When he walks in a room, people just go, oh, and then it sort of like parts, doesn't it?
Have you noticed how he's trying to copy my hairstyle? Have you noticed that?
No, I think he had that before you did.
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
And he was nearly
for a
England
man with
manager as
such a
well.
big personality, he's quite diminutive, isn't he?
Size doesn't matter, Eamonn, you should know that.
It's like film stars, isn't it? Like, you know, you think all the film stars are bigger and larger in life, but you know, the Tom Cruises of this world and whatever, they're all quite jockey-like.
Yeah, they're in.
But Isabel's right, he's got a huge charisma, a huge personality about him. He's the greatest manager I've ever worked with in 30 years on Fleet Street, without a shadow of a doubt. And I've worked with some big names over the years. Absolutely brilliant manager. More important than that to me, he's a brilliant bloke. Absolutely brilliant bloke.
Oh, well, that's really good to hear. I know a lot of the staff, back room and whatever it is, you know, and the security people, the drivers, all sorts of things. They love him. They absolutely love him. He makes time for them. And just like Fergie, Van Gaal was slightly different before that, different, weirder sort of sense of humour, but they really do love him from that point of view. Let me ask you this. Do you think he wants to stay at United? Do you think this is more than a 3-year trip?
One of the things that he always talked about was having the opportunity to build a dynasty at a football club. When he was building his career, 2 years at Porto, back-to-back titles, Champions League, 3 years at Chelsea, then off to Inter Milan where he won the treble for the first time in the history of Italian football. Then he couldn't resist the Real Madrid job to go head-to-head against Pep at Barca. 3 years there. He's been 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. He envies Arsene Wenger, he envied Fergie their longevity, their ability to stay for year after year after year after year, to rebuild and regroup, and also to get the players that they wanted in the transfer market. So yeah, he would love to emulate Sir Alex in some way. Maybe not in the Hall of Silverware, because even Jose says he'll never be able to do that. Yeah. But in terms of spending 10, 15 years at a club, he would absolutely love it.
Well, it's great to have him there, I have to say. And Robert Beasley's book is Up Close and Personally. It's released, Up Close and Personal, it's released today. That's his profile of Jose Mourinho. And Robert, if you could just maybe leave me a copy and sign it.
I haven't got one. I've got to go and buy one this morning.
Isabel, on her birthday.
Isabel, happy 25th.
I've got one on my desk.
Thank you very much indeed. Did I mention it was Isabel's birthday, Jack?
Yes, I knew it was Isabel's birthday.
Well, I did. No one thought of telling me.
She didn't tip us off. I mean, the thing to do is you have to tip people off the day before, like I do. Send the memo, it's my birthday tomorrow. You didn't do it.
See, you're giving me that look like I should have known it was your birthday.
I'm pretty sure it's been mentioned.
We know now. Last night there was a perfect storm of a football match, and we will show you that after this.